73% of people have no idea how attractive they actually are. Most underestimate it by at least 3 points on a 10-point scale. You're about to discover 15 signs that prove you're way more magnetic than you realize. And the most shocking part, the strongest indicators have nothing to do with your appearance. Think about the last time you walked into a crowded room. Did people's conversations pause for just a split second? Did you catch anyone adjusting their posture when you sat down? Keep that moment in mind, because what I'm about to reveal will completely reframe how you see yourself. Drop a comment right now with the first word that comes to mind when I say presence, ever. Notice how some people enter a space and the entire atmosphere changes. It's not about being loud or drawing attention on purpose. When you walk into a room and feel a subtle shift in the energy, that's your presence doing the work. Women instinctively become more aware of their appearance. Men unconsciously adjust their posture or lower their voice slightly. This happens because humans are wired to respond to dominance signals, and you're broadcasting them without even trying. The crazy part? Most attractive people have no clue this is happening. They think everyone experiences the world this way. Here's your test. Next time you enter a group setting, watch for the 2-second pause in conversation or the quick glance people. That's social recalibration. Your presence demanded it. Women don't hold eye contact by accident. When a woman locks eyes with you for more than 3 seconds, she's running a psychological test. She wants to see if you'll break first, stare awkwardly, or hold it with calm confidence. Most men fail this test without realizing it even happened. If you've noticed women holding your gaze just long enough to feel intense, then looking away with a slight smile, congratulations, you passed. But here's the twist some guys miss. Sometimes highly attractive men experience the opposite. Certain women won't make eye contact at all because the intensity feels too vulnerable. They're attracted, but they're protecting themselves from that feeling. Pay attention to both reactions. Whether she's locking eyes or deliberately avoiding them, you're creating an emotional response. That's power. There's a reason why some people command attention when they talk. It's not about volume or charisma alone. When you speak and people physically lean toward you, stop what they're doing, or turn their bodies to face you fully. That's unconscious engagement. Their brain is telling them you're worth listening to. This happens because attractive people tend to speak with pauses, varying their tone naturally and maintaining a calm baseline. Most people rush through sentences, afraid of silence. You don't. That comfort with pauses creates tension, and tension creates interest. Women especially respond to this because it signals emotional control and confidence. Next time you're in conversation, notice if people ask follow-up questions or try to extend the interaction. That's not politeness. They're trying to stay in your orbit. Walk through a crowded area and watch what happens. Do people move aside slightly before you even get close? Do they make room when you sit down without you asking? This isn't coincidence. Humans unconsciously read body language and decide who gets space and who gets crowded. When you carry yourself with quiet authority, shoulders back, steady pace, calm expression, people's brains flag you as high status. It's a survival instinct from thousands of years ago. High-status individuals got more space in the tribe. Women notice this immediately because it signals protection and resources without you saying a word. On the flip side, men who don't get automatic space tend to be invisible in social dynamics. If crowds part for you even slightly, you're radiating something most people aren't. Here's something most men completely miss. When a woman is attracted, she won't usually walk up and announce it. Maybe she takes the treadmill next to yours when 5 others are open. Maybe she stands near you at the bar, fixing her hair in her phone's camera. Maybe she bumps into you lightly and apologizes with extended eye contact. These aren't accidents. Women are masters of plausible deniability. They create opportunities for you to notice them while maintaining the ability to claim it was unintentional. The test is simple. Does the same woman keep appearing in your proximity across different situations? Is she asking you random, unnecessary questions? That's her opening the door. She's hoping you'll pick up the signal and walk through it. Most men don't, and the opportunity passes. Attractive people have a relationship with silence that others don't. While most people fill gaps in conversation with nervous chatter, you're comfortable just existing without performing. This creates a fascinating dynamic. When you go quiet, people get curious. They wonder what you're thinking. They start trying to re-engage you. This is social power in its purest form. You're not doing anything, yet you're controlling the energy of the interaction. Women respond intensely to this because it's the opposite of what they usually experience. Most men overtalk, over-explain, over-pursue. When you don't, it creates intrigue. Here's the truth. The person most comfortable with silence holds the frame. If people seem almost relieved when you speak after being quiet, you've trained them to value your words. That's rare. You meet someone once at a party, exchange maybe 3 sentences, and 2 weeks later they bring you up in conversation. This happens more than it should, doesn't it? That's because you left an impression that outlasted the interaction. Attractive people create emotional imprints. It's not always what you said, it's how you made them feel. Maybe it was your eye contact, your calm presence, or just the fact that you weren't trying to impress anyone. Whatever it was, it stuck. Most people are forgotten minutes after meeting them because they blend into the background noise of social interaction. You don't. When someone remembers a tiny detail you mentioned, or asks a mutual friend about you after meeting you once, that's your magnetism doing work you weren't even conscious of. If you're genuinely attractive, people test you constantly. Women will say something slightly challenging to see how you react. Men will subtly try to one-up you in conversation. Friends will make jokes at your expense to see if you can handle it. This isn't hostility, it's verification. People need to confirm that your presence matches reality. When someone is attractive but insecure, they fail these tests badly. They get defensive, over-explain, or try too hard to prove themselves. But if you respond with calm humor or just brush it off entirely, you pass. And here's what's interesting. The tests intensify the more attractive you are. It's almost like people are checking if you're real. The fact that you're being tested more than others means you're already standing out. Most people don't get tested at all because they're not even on the radar. If you're recognizing even half of these signs, you're operating on a level most people never reach. Make sure you're subscribed, because we're about to go even deeper into the psychology behind attraction that no one talks about. The next few signs are the ones most people completely overlook. Watch people when they're around you. Do they start matching your energy? If you're calm, do they settle down? If you lean back, do they eventually do the same? This is called mirroring. And it's one of the clearest signs someone is subconsciously drawn to you. Humans mirror people they admire, trust, or feel attracted to. It's an evolutionary mechanism that builds rapport and connection. When you're attractive, you set the tone of interactions without trying. You become the energetic baseline everyone else adjusts to. Women mirror attractive men constantly crossing their legs the same way, adopting similar speech patterns, even ordering the same drink. If you start noticing this, don't point it out, just recognize it for what it is. Their subconscious trying to align with you. That's influence. Bartenders, remember your order. Baristas smile wider. Servers check back more often than they do with other tables. Some people dismiss this as good customer service, but let's be real. Service workers interact with hundreds of people daily. They don't treat everyone the same. When you're attractive, people in service roles engage differently because you brighten their routine. You're a break from the monotony of neutral or rude customers. This isn't about getting free drinks or a special treatment, though that happens. It's about recognizing that you create positive emotional responses in people whose job is to stay neutral. That's social value. Next time you're out, notice if staff remember you, joke with you, or seem genuinely happier when serving you. That's not random. Ever notice how certain people always seem to be in the loop? They get invited to events, included in plans, and thought of when opportunities arise. That's not luck. When you're attractive in presence, not just looks, people want you around. You add value to social situations just by being there. Hosts know you'll elevate the energy. Friends know you'll make the night more interesting. This is social proof in action. The more you're included, the more valuable you appear, which leads to more invitations. It's a compounding effect. If people go out of their way to make sure you're at gatherings, or if you're the first person they think of when something fun is happening, you're a social asset. Most people have to insert themselves into plans. You get pulled in. Here's a subtle one. Do people light up when you compliment them? Do they check your reaction before fully committing to an opinion? Do they mention accomplishments specifically when you're around? That's validation-seeking behavior. Attractive people hold social currency. Their approval means more because it's perceived as more selective and harder to earn. When someone name-drops an achievement in your presence or fishes for your opinion on something they're proud of, they're asking, "Do you think I'm valuable too?" This isn't arrogance on your part, it's just reality. You've established yourself as someone whose opinion matters. The key is noticing when this happens and being gracious about it. People remember how you made them feel when they were vulnerable enough to seek your approval. Pay attention to how often people touch you during conversation. A hand on your arm when they laugh, a shoulder bump when walking, a playful shove when joking. Humans are cautious about physical contact, especially with people they don't know well. But when attraction is present, those barriers drop. Women especially use touch to signal interest without being overt about it. It's plausible deniability against you can always claim it was just friendly. But if you're being touched more than seems normal for casual interaction, that's intentional. It's her way of creating physical connection and seeing how you respond. Do you pull away? Do you reciprocate naturally? Or do you freeze up? Your reaction tells her everything she needs to know. If this happens regularly with different people, you're approachable and magnetic. People feel safe entering your physical space. This is the ultimate sign. When you leave a room or end a conversation, people talk about you. Not in a gossipy, "who was that" kind of way. Your energy left an imprint that outlasted your physical presence. Maybe someone asks your name. Maybe they bring up something you said. Maybe they just mentioned they enjoyed meeting you. This doesn't happen to most people. Most interactions are forgotten the moment they end. But when you're genuinely attractive in the way you carry yourself, you create memorable moments without trying. People replay conversations with you. They wonder what you thought of them. They hope they made a good impression. That's the kind of lasting impact only truly magnetic people leave behind. So, let's bring this full circle. Attraction isn't about perfect features or saying the right things. It's about presence, energy, and the unconscious signals you send every single day. If you recognized even a handful of these signs, you're already operating at a level most people never reach. The question isn't whether you're attractive, it's whether you're aware of it and using it intentionally. Coming up next, we're breaking down the psychology behind why confidence is more attractive than looks, and the exact behaviors that kill your magnetism without you realizing it. You won't want to miss that. This content is for educational and entertainment purposes only. It's not professional, psychological, or relationship advice. If you're looking for personalized guidance, consult a qualified expert.